now know the name of a woman whose body was found in a ditch in Live Oak. She has been identified as 50-year-old Laura Briceño. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. And as of right now, her cause of death is still pending. Her body was found on Monday afternoon in a ditch near the intersection of Judson and Topperwine Roads. Live Oak police say Briceño had no identifying information on her except for several tattoos.
A new legal setback for former President Trump. An appeals court has just handed the Justice Department a victory in the battle over documents seized at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
The decision coming just hours after New York's Attorney General filed a $250 million lawsuit against Trump and his family in a separate case. And now Trump is responding. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
A new legal setback for former President Trump. A federal appeals court is now allowing the Justice Department to continue looking at classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago as investigators consider whether to bring criminal charges against Trump for storing top-secret records at his Florida home. The court saying Trump has presented no evidence that he declassified those records, an argument he tried to make again on Fox News last night.
If you're the President of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
In a separate case, New York's Attorney General is now suing Trump, 3 of his children, and the Trump Organization, accusing them of, quote, staggering fraud. AG Letitia James claims they overstated the value of nearly every major property Trump owns to get more favorable loans and other advantages to enrich themselves.
It is a tale of 2 justice systems, one for everyday working people and one for the elite.
According to the lawsuit, Trump valued Mar-a-Lago at $739 million, nearly 10 times higher than what it's really worth, $75 million. And the lawsuit claims Trump valued his New York City apartment at $327 million. James says it's worth only 1/3 of that amount. The Attorney General is seeking $250 million from the Trumps and wants to ban them from ever doing business in New York again.
It could be devastating for the Trump Organization and the Trump family members.
But critics of New York's Attorney General say she's overreaching with this lawsuit.
It's hard for me not to conclude it's a political hit job.
This is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal one, but James says she found evidence of potential bank fraud, so she sent her findings to federal prosecutors and the Manhattan DA. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
New overnight, an earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.8 has caused buildings to sway in Mexico's capital and left at least 1 person dead. The earthquake struck early this morning, just 3 days after a 7.6 magnitude earthquake shook western and central Mexico, killing 2 people. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake was centered west of Mexico City, near the Pacific coast. Mexico City's mayor said via Twitter there were no immediate reports of damage.
Breathalyzers in cars. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending all new vehicles in the U.S. be required to have blood alcohol monitoring systems that can stop an intoxicated person from driving. The recommendation, if enacted, could reduce the number of alcohol-related crashes. The Safety Board said this week that roadway deaths in the U.S. are at a crisis level. Nearly 43,000 people killed last year, the greatest number in 16 years.
Recovery efforts are now underway in the Turks and Caicos Islands following Hurricane Fiona. Authorities said last night they are thankful that no lives were lost on the islands during the hurricane. However, there are reports of damage at Grand Turk Airport and other locations. The storm is expected to pass west of Bermuda tomorrow morning.
Divorced couples may now be able to separate their consolidated student loan debt and possibly qualify for student loan forgiveness. It's thanks to a bill just passed by Congress. Until 2006, married couples were allowed to consolidate their federal student loan debt into a single loan, but that made them jointly responsible for the debt even if they divorced. Survivors of domestic abuse, economic abuse, or borrowers who can't reach their other borrower will also be able to submit an individual application. The bill now heads to President Biden's desk for his signature. His administration has said it supports this legislation.